Hello guys, welcome back to Lit Mode. A very happy new year to all of you in advance. So, SEBI Grade A, which was scheduled in 2020, is going to happen on 17th of January 2021. So, after a very boring roller coaster ride, finally the exam is going to happen. So, that's a very good news for all of you. And the handout, admit card, everything is out. Now, SEBI top 200 GK series we are going to start. So for the next 20 days till 16th of January, we will provide 10 questions daily related to current affairs and economic and financial awareness news. So you can expect many questions coming directly from these videos. So this is very high importance video. So do watch till the last. Now, first question is, what's P in PLI scheme? This question was asked in IBPS SO 2020, which was held on 26 December 2020. So you have to comment the correct answer in the comment box. Now, this video is also important for exams like SBI PO. The mains is scheduled in January last. Apart from that, IBPS PO and RRB PO as well. Apart from that, you have also other exams like IBPS Clerk Mains and RRB Clerk Mains. Apart from that, IB ACI IO is also out. So around 5-6 exams are there in your kitty. So if you have failed RBI Assistant or SEBI Junior Associate, then you can look forward to these exams and target any one of them. All are good jobs, but yes, SEBI Grade A is the cream. So comment the correct answer and I will tell the correct answer of this question in the end of the video. So the first question is, the country's foreign exchange reserves surged by 2.5 billion US dollar to touch a record high of dash billion US dollar in the week to December 18. So in the third week of December, our country's forex reserve has inclined to a new height. So what's the correct answer? Just attempt this question. Okay, you can pause the video and attempt the question. So the correct answer is $581 billion. So option C is correct. Option C is the correct, $581 billion. Now, you would be thinking what all components are there in foreign exchange. So there are 4 major components. First is foreign currency asset. Second is SDR, special drawing right. Apart from that, you have also 2 more components, which is so other 2 are gold reserve and the reverse tranche. Okay, so the 4 components of the forex are all those: FCA, apart from that the SDR, a special drawing right, and you have the reverse tranche position and the gold reserve. So you can see our forex reserve is increasing since 28 December 2018 and it's now at $581 billion. So in last year, if I put it at 2019, so in last 1 year, we have seen an increase of $101 billion approx in our forex reserve. And in the last couple of years, you can see that it's roughly around $200 billion. Now you would be thinking, why that much hike? How it's happening? Are we exporting more? What we are doing different? So the answer is no. Export is not improving the forex reserve in the case of India. Our export is almost $300 to $350 billion since last 10 years. We are not doing good in the exports. That's why we are seeing schemes like Make in India, PLI, and Atmanirbhar, etc. So the correct answer, why our forex is increasing, is very curious. So the correct answer is because of FPI and FDI flow. First reason is FPI, FDI flow, and the second reason is the developed economy are injecting more money in their economy due to coronavirus. Recently, developed economy promised to inject around 10 to 12 trillion dollar in their economy. So what happens? The investors pull that money into emerging markets like India and China and Vietnam and Brazil, Mexico, something like that. So what happens that we get lot of dollar, and that's what you see here. And I can say that the FCA is the maximum scoring section here. Around 80 to 90% of the money is in form of FCS. That's foreign currency asset, and mainly it's in dollars itself. So I think you are pretty clear that what it means, how our forex is increasing. So you can see India's rank is number 5 here. So we have around $581 billion, and at the number 4 is Russia, $593 billion. So sooner or later we are going to chase Russia, which is boasting a lot with China, and recently their foreign minister Sergey Lavrov also told that India is behaving like puppet of USA. So a surprising fact here that you will find USA at 21st position in the foreign exchange reserve list. Why so? That's a very valid question, because these all currency is in US dollar and US has the right to print dollars. Obviously they can't print as much dollar they want because that has a different repercussion on their economy, but US doesn't hold any kind of forex reserve or something like that. So that's why you see US at this position. Apart from that, you will find China and Japan, heavily industrialized country, at the first and second position. Switzerland, again a tax haven. Apart from that, also a very good country industry wise. And then Russia, because of their history. And Taiwan surprisingly is at number 6. And the population of Taiwan is less than 1 crore, but they are the king of semiconductor industry, and that's why you are seeing Taiwan at the 6th position. And Taiwan is showing India also how we can move up to the ladder using our policy changes and all those things. So that's all about forex reserve and all those things. One more thing I want to explain. Recently, Asima Goyal, the member of the Reserve Bank's Monetary Policy Committee, said at the MPC meeting that forex inflows could lead to overvaluation of rupee. Okay, so overvaluation of the rupee is also bad, and it can hurt exports, raise country risk as well as currency risk, and lead to a sharp depreciation later. So if too much money comes to our forex reserve, and if it goes away very suddenly also, and seeing that we have let's say $6 billion, our government decides something to do or any infrastructure project, and later on it comes to $300 billion, so that project will be cancelled out, or we will be in mayhem. That's why Asima Goyal has suggested that don't depend too much on forex inflows. It can lead to overvaluation of the rupee, which could hurt exports, lead to a sharp depreciation later, and raise the currency and country risk as well. So let's move to the second question. And yes, there is a forex video specifically designed for RBI Grade B, SEBI and RBI NABARD also. So you can go to the I button and click and watch that particular video also. So second question is, as per Center for Economics and Business Research recent report, India will become the third largest economy by which year? So the options are these. So the correct answer is option D, 2030. Okay, 2030. So by 2030, India will be the third largest economy by which year? Now you would be thinking, recently India became third or fourth largest economy. Now how again India is at number 5, number 6? Oh, what's going on? So the thing is, because of coronavirus, India is now sitting at number 6 position here. Okay, so China is second, US is first, Japan third, Germany fourth, and UK fifth. India recently chased UK last year 2019 to become 5th largest economy, but due to coronavirus and all these things, India is facing a slowdown, and we are sitting at number 6. Now you can see the shrunk of the GDP also. So India's GDP shrunk the maximum in the Q1 of fiscal year 21. So you can see here only one country is in positive, that is obviously the virus spreader, China. Okay, so they have very different versions of coronavirus. Either you want like noodles, they have different variant of coronavirus, and we are seeing that till now. And here you can see UK. The UK also faced a slump now, but yes, they are at number 5, and the difference is very minuscule. So sooner or later, India will again chase down UK, similarly like we are going to chase down Russia in the case of forex reserve. And you can see here also whatever I told. India, which appears to have been pushed back to being the world's largest, biggest economy in 2020. Okay, so we were pushed back in 2020. Will again overtake the UK to become the 5th largest in 2025 and race to the 3rd spot by 2030. So we will be 5th in 2025, but on 3rd we will reach by 2030. So become 3rd, we will have to be just in front of UK, Germany and Japan also. So we will be just behind US and China. And India had overtaken the UK in 2019. You can see here, to become the largest economy in the world, but has been relegated to 6th spot in 2020. Now you can see the current condition here. So US is on number 1, around 20 trillion rupees. $20 trillion, and China is at number 2 with around $15 trillion. Japan is at number 3, $5 trillion. Germany $3.7 trillion. UK 2.64. India $2.6 trillion. So what happened? Basically, we were moving towards $3 trillion, but because of coronavirus, we are going to face somewhere around 7 to 8% of declination in our GDP this year. This may go also into double digit. Let's wait for the Q3 data, which is expected to be positive. And in Q1, we saw a 23.9% decrement in our quarter to quarter comparison from the last fiscal year, which was 2020 to 2019. And in Q2 also we faced around 8% of 7 to 8% of declination. So this quarter, because of Diwali and the festival sales and marriages, we are going to see a positive GDP growth quarter on quarter. So let's wait, and if that happens, our economy at least becomes positive, or whatever the case, but yes, we are going to see a decline, and that would be around 7 to 8% of the declination, and we will be at number 6 only. So next year we may reach to number means next year India can move to a higher position. So yeah, so that's all about this question. Let's move to question number 3. SEBI appointed whom as the observer for e-voting in Franklin Templeton mutual fund scheme? So I assume that you all are aware about the Franklin Templeton mutual fund scheme, where the debt funds were cancelled, and RBI also changed the policy because of this crisis. And basically in the bond market there was a whole hullabaloo created, and basically risk diversification was not done by Franklin Templeton, and their own people were there who were holding many portfolios. So the committee headed the appointment for the observing of e-voting in Franklin Templeton mutual fund scheme is, there are 4 options, and the correct answer is option A, which is T.S. Krishnamurthy. So T.S. Krishnamurthy is the right answer, and 3 more committees are in front of you. River Ganga Pollution, Adarsh Kumar Goyal; Chetan Sharma, Chairman of the National Men's Selection Committee panel; and Kamath Committee to make recommendations on the financial parameters to be considered in the restructuring of loans impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. So to save the NPAs and not go into the bad bank and bad loans, the restructuring of loans which RBI has suggested. So Mr. Kamath is heading this, and he is a very well-known face in the Indian banking industry. Now about Krishnamurthy, so as per direction of the Supreme Court of India, recently appointed Taruvai Subbaiah Krishnamurthy, the former Chief Election Commissioner of India, as the observer regarding the e-voting of unit holders of 6 schemes of Franklin Templeton Mutual Fund, which is scheduled between 26 December to 29 December. Okay, so there will be e-voting for the 6 schemes, debt schemes, and unit holders will e-vote. So the observer will be Mr. Krishnamurthy. Very important question, and because it is related to SEBI. One more question. SEBI recently charged 27 crore to the NDTV stakeholders, Pranoy Roy and Radhika Roy, and they have moved to SAT, the appellate authority against, means if SEBI charges you for something, you can go to SAT. That's the appellate tribunal higher or parallel to the SEBI. Now the 4th question is, which treasury designates Switzerland and Vietnam as currency manipulators for the first time? So options are in front of you: India, USA, China, Japan, and UK. So recently, which country has designated Switzerland and Vietnam as currency manipulators for the first time? And the correct answer is USA. So USA basically keeps checking out which countries are devaluating their currency to increase the export, okay, because when the value of the currency will be low, then the exports will be cheaper, and other countries like European countries, NATO, US, Australia, New Zealand, these countries will import from that particular country where you can get maximum amount of goods or materials for $100. Okay, so let's assume that India devaluates its currency to 80 rupees. Okay, so for $100, a person from USA will get goods worth 8,000 rupees. Okay, and China used this policy for a longer period of time to boost their exports, and that's how this works. So US Treasury labeled Switzerland and Vietnam as currency manipulators on Wednesday and added India, Taiwan, and Thailand. So India, Taiwan, and Thailand are on watch list. So they are suspected to taking measures to devaluate their currencies against the dollar. The monitoring list of countries has now hit 10. Others are China, Japan, Korea, Germany, Italy, Singapore, and Malaysia. The Treasury also said that India and Singapore have also intervened in the foreign exchange market in a sustained asymmetric manner, but didn't meet other requirements to warrant designations as manipulator. So RBI buys lots of dollars, and they also do OMO, open market operations. If you don't know about all these terms, subscribe to our full course where you will get all the knowledge about the nuances of bond market, capital market, all the basic economic terms like OMO. Because in this video, if I will try to explain everything starting from LTRO to OMO, how they are contributing to the Indian economy, so the video will be 1 hour longer. So basically RBI does a lot of things to stabilize our economy and to monitor and stabilize the rupee also. So US has found that a few things are wrong in their perspective, okay, in their perspective. So that's why India is on the watch list. But yes, Switzerland and Vietnam are the currency manipulators as of now. Let's move to question number 5. Name the country whose central bank has got 1 million followers on Twitter. So the options are India, USA, China, Japan, UK. And the hint is that people like Ishan Kishan, cricketers like Umesh Yadav, are also employed at that particular bank. Yes, RBI कहता है. RBI is the right answer and they have 1 million followers now. So RBI is there, the most followed central bank of the world. So that's a proud moment at the same time, as well as RBI is a very good institution which is helping our economy to grow at a faster rate, stabilizing our currency and helping everyone to become financially inclusive. Now question number 6, what is the current repo rate? So yes, you would be knowing about repo rate, and the options are 4%, 3.3%, 4.25% and 7.5%. So repo rate is the rate at which any bank gets loan for a shorter period from the Reserve Bank, and reverse repo is different. Like bank when deposits their surplus money to the RBI, then that's called reverse repo rate. Reverse repo rate is always lesser than repo rate. Otherwise, banks will not lend to the common users and they will just put all their money to RBI and gain, and from where RBI will give them money. So the correct answer is 4%. So currently the repo rate is 4%. Reverse repo rate is 3.35%. So the difference is 0.65%. And GDP growth projection for fiscal year 21 is minus 7.5%, which I was explaining in the question number 2. Inflation projection for Q3 fiscal year 21 is 6.8%, and this was more than 7% in the last 2 quarters. And this inflation is directly linked to repo rate. If this inflation is high, then repo rate will be accommodative. So the stance of the RBI will be accommodative. Why? Because RBI has said that the range of the inflation should be 2 to 4%. Okay. But the inflation of our country has been more than 6-7% for a couple of quarters. That's why we have seen an accommodative stance by RBI, because they are seeing that our inflation is not in control. So they can't decrease the repo rate, because if they will decrease the repo rate, the liquidity will increase in the market and the users will have more money to spend. And when the users will have the more money to spend, then again the inflation will go higher and this will destabilize the economy. That's why this is happening. So let's move to the. And this was the last monetary policy announcement, which is bi-monthly. So every 2 months, MPC committee sits and decides all these rates. So for MPC also, we have a dedicated video, which you can find at the I button, or you can search MPC video by LYT mode, LYT mode. So in a year, 6 times MPC committee sits. Question number 7, which body signs $500 million project to develop green, resilient and safe highways in India? So options are in front of you. Try to attempt this question. And the correct answer is option B, World Bank. So Government of India and the World Bank today signed a $500 million project to build safe and green national highway corridors in the states of Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh and Himachal Pradesh. So the project will also enhance the capacity of the Ministry of Road Transport and Highway in mainstreaming safety and green technologies. So Indian government takes a loan from institutions like World Bank, ADB, AIIB, IMF, NDB, etc. so that infrastructure development happens at a higher speed, and these loans are a very low interest rate, and this interest rate is to be paid in 20 year, 30 year. So when you will go through our union budget, so around 15% to 20% of the money goes to the interest repayment of these banks, from where we have took the loans since time immemorial after independence. So yes, and let's move to the question number 8. Who has agreed to buy out IMG Worldwide LLC from their sports management joint venture for 52 crores? Options are in front of you. The correct answer is obviously Jio Dhan. Reliance India Limited has formed an equal joint venture with IMG Worldwide, an international sports marketing and management company, in 2010 to develop, market and manage sports and entertainment in India. So question number 9, the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs chaired by Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has approved assistance of about 3,500 crore for what? So options are in front of you: MSMEs, artists, sugarcane farmers, street vendors, artisans. The correct answer is farmers, sugarcane farmers. So that sugarcane farmers can sell their sugarcane to the sugar mills. So because we are seeing a protest against the government also due to the 3 laws changes which has been done in the farm sector. So this is a kind of relief for at least sugarcane farmers. And yes, government is focusing on farmers, but yet institutional reforms are always hectic, and government and farmers are talking, and we hope that there will be a constructive decision which will be in favor of farmers also, as well as Indian economy. Question number 10. World's biggest hybrid renewable energy park project of which state to attract an investment of 1,50,000 crore? Yes, it's more than $20 billion. So which state will draw this much amount of investment? Obviously this is hybrid renewable energy. Okay, so what is renewable energy? Renewable energy is energy which doesn't spreads pollution, as well as that source of energy is free, like solar sunlight, apart from that wind, the flow of rivers. So all these are free, given by nature, and all these doesn't even pollutes our nature. So that's called renewable energy. What's hybrid? If I add hybrid, so it will be a mixture of solar plus wind, or wind plus hydro, or solar plus hydro, something like that. So now you can guess from here which state will be having more solar light. Obviously the state which has too much area, as well as some kind of desert. So the correct answer is Gujarat. Now why? So let me show you through the maps. So here you will see this is our beautiful country. One second. This is our beautiful country, India, and we will go to Gujarat. Okay, so this is Gujarat, and here you will see the near Indo-Pakistan border. So this is the Indo-Pakistan border. Okay, this is the Indo-Pakistan border, and here you will find a place named Bhuj. So here you will find a place named Bhuj. This is a district in India, and this is the border of India-Pakistan. So here India is planning to build a means above Bhuj, Hodka, and this area, India is planning to build a hybrid renewable energy plant. So that will be two hunt with a single arrow, because Pakistan is also doing army exercise over here, and we will have much human activity here after the power plant. So we will also able to monitor the Chinese and Pakistan's movement over here also. But yeah, majorly the target is only to meet the target which India has promised in the Paris climate change. So correct answer is Gujarat. And yes, you can see the more detail which is here, like 72,600 hectares of wasteland will be used, a huge amount. And what's the target of India by 2030 for renewable energy? 450 gigawatt. So till 2020 India will have 175 gigawatt of target, and till 2030 India will have 450 gigawatt of the target. And 450 gigawatt will be 60% of India's total energy in 2030. So if it's 450, so you can assume that India will be producing around 900 gigawatt or 1000 gigawatt. So yes, recently RK Singh, the Ministry of Power, also told that India is targeting 1000 gigawatt of energy in next 10 years. And you can see Narendra Modi has done the inauguration, and desalination plant will be also installed there to convert seawater into fresh water. This technology has been imported by Israel, and Israel helped India to do this. So we can convert seawater into fresh water and can supply it to other parts of India as well. So the third project is a milk processing as well as packaging plant at Anjar Sarhad Dairy, which is fully automated and will have 2 lakh liters processing capacity per day. And what will happen with this milk? Amul will export it to Delhi, to Mumbai, and Chennai, to Hyderabad, Bangalore, everywhere. So that's what a hybrid park is. So here we are seeing water purification, dairy production, power production. So these projects are very huge, important for India and Indian economy. And let's talk about what's the current scenario of the Indian energy mix. So currently you will see that we have 53.4% of energy produced by thermal power plant, which is coal based, and this coal is also imported by Australia, because we have very less amount of pulverized coal. And the pulverized coal means the efficiency of the combustion, how much carbon it is producing, and that basically zooms up the heat production, that basically hits up the turbine, and all those electricity production happens. Apart from that, renewable energy is 37%, but wind power and large hydro is the major part of this. Large hydro 12%. So we are having wind power, solar power as major contributor in renewable energy. Apart from that, we have also nuclear power plant, gas 6.7%, diesel and lignite also. So what will happen in 2030? We will see a catastrophic change over here. In 2030, we will see that this chart will be renewable energy. Okay, so this will be renewable energy at 60%, and this will be coal power plant with around 20-30%, because coal is always cheaper. This is also cheaper. Let me tell you a fun fact. Recently, Adani Greens, which is a power generation company, and their stock also skyrocketed around 800% in a single year. So they quoted 1.9 rupees for a single unit of electricity production and distribution. Now you can just compare it with what you are currently paying. That should be around 6 to 8 rupees anywhere in India. So that cheaper it is solar power and wind power. So 2030 will be very exciting from the thermal, from the perspective of Indian electricity consumption and production. Now you can also see here that India have to become 60% renewable energy by 2030. Power Minister R.K. Singh said this is the cutting of Financial Express. You can see over here. And let's talk about the power production worldwide. What's the position of India here also? So China is the leader over here with 750 gigawatt of the production. Okay. And US with 590 gigawatt at number 2. India is at number 3 with around 256 gigawatt. And this data is of 2020, as you can see over here. Okay. So this is the electricity production, total electricity production, and India is targeting to increase it by 4 times in the next 10 years. And yes, the renewable energy will be major chunk of this, and China has very huge renewable energy mix in this power production. So India is following the same route which China followed, and because of Paris climate change, where every country has promised that to hold the temperature of the earth from increasing again by 1 degree Celsius, or to bring it back to the original temperature, we are following Paris climate change. So it will be tough to bring back to the original condition, but yes, at least moving to renewable energy is very important step. So that's all from this video. 10 questions has been done, and of the first question the answer was PLI scheme. The answer was production. Okay. So production was the correct answer, production linked incentive scheme, that is. So if you want to go for SEBI grade A GK and mock courses, you can visit our website, and descriptive course for SEBI mains, basically phase 2 is also on, so you can subscribe to that also. Apart from that, we have also GA GK for other exams launched, and we have comprehensive RBI grade B courses already running, so you can go and find the suitable product according to you. And the English descriptive is very important for SEBI grade A, and you can subscribe it later on after pre also, because on 17th of January you have the pre, and the mains is on 27th of February. Okay. So you will have around 40 days. So in 40 days you can improve your English for SEBI grade A, where English, reading comprehension, Prezi and essay will be asked. Now GK for RRB, SBI, IBPS, PO clerk is also live, and you can go and subscribe that also. For any query, mail us at the email ID hi@litmode.in, and check description for the product links. Okay, so all the best for future endeavors, and this is the first part of the video. Stay tuned for the second part of the series, and we will cover as much question as possible. And do like the video if you find this video helpful, and if it increased your information and your net knowledge has increased by an iota. Okay, and also don't forget to subscribe the video and do share it across Telegram and WhatsApp groups. Thank you for watching the video. God bless you all.